I'm not sharing my screen, Nate. What's up with you? You didn't share, you didn't show me. You didn't
Sorry,
tell me.
I was trying to sharpen my pencil, getting it ready.
Okay. So I'm going to record as well. I'm already recording. Okay, great. So when I'm drawing this mug, I have it in front of me, but the first thing I want to notice, and now that I am sharing my screen, I can point it out, I want to find the cylinder shape that is inside the mug. So this would work with a bowl, this would work with a plate, but you want to find the top part of the cylinder, this kind of smushed circle, and then the bottom part of the cylinder as well. Even though it's hidden out inside, I want to draw both of these shapes as I see them. And so in my drawing, I don't want, you know, a flat top and a flat bottom, because that is not, you know, realistic. So you don't want to do that. You want, and you don't want to do, you know, this with a round top and a flat bottom. You kind of want to do in between, so it's more of a smushed circle. This is what's known as the ellipse. And then depending on your mug or your cup, it may have, or it's a bowl, it's going to have a wider top than a bottom. So for this, I'll kind of make my two ellipses. It may be helpful to kind of divide it in half to get the symmetry down, but I'm using light lines right now. I'm not pressing like super hard. I'm pressing very lightly with my pencil. I will press harder when I get to shading. So after you have those two ellipses, then you want to do the walls that are on the side of your mug. So I want to think about whether it goes in. This mug in particular goes in. I just now realized I've run out of space here. And then it kind of bubbles out. Your mug may be different. It may have kind of a regular curve like this. It may be just a straight curve. But then I messed up and didn't make it long enough, so I'm going to move this down to the bottom. So now that I've got the opening at the top, opening at the bottom, I'll just erase this part that's hidden. And I'm left with kind of that cylinder shape. And then I'll just kind of, maybe you're doing a cup, but I'll try my best to add a handle and then kind of add the inside part to it. So now is the hard part, right? So the reason that we're doing this after shading is because I need to look at my mug and say, where is it dark, where is it light, and where does it curve? And so for me, looking at this photograph, like the darkest parts are kind of in here, and it goes from dark to light. So I will, in my drawing, kind of start by going dark, and then fade to light as I come across. And I'm using lines that match the curve of the mug, and I might even kind of go all the way across. And it kind of goes dark, and then it fades to light. And when I'm adding curve, when adding shade, I'm using lines that kind of go like this to make the curve of the mug. And I'll repeat that same process. So I picked like the darkest part. Now I'll kind of do this part here, and I'll do kind of slightly dark. It's not as dark. But the key with this is you're repeating that follow the curve idea. So I'm kind of making these swooping motions with my pencil. And then if I wanted the area to be darker, I'll just spend a little more time. And I'm starting super light, and I gradually press harder and harder. Remember when we did the value scale, you know, you can press really, really, really hard to get it hard, but you want to spend more time actually at this lighter range, and then gradually press harder and press harder. Press harder, harder. So you do want to have kind of like that range. So I'm looking at this, and I've got this inside part and this part. There's a little shadow over here, and then there's a little shadow under the mug. So I'll do kind of a little mini shadow here. It kind of fades in the opposite direction. And there's a little shadow here. But the key is, as I'm shading, I'm matching the curve of the mug or the bowl or whatever I'm drawing, and then I'll add a little shadow here. And now for the last piece of this drawing, I'm going to take my mug, and I'll just erase this symmetry line. And I'm going to place it on the counter. So to do that, if you look in the photograph, there's like a line kind of pops out here. And then there's actually a little shadow here underneath the mug that makes it kind of pop out and looks like it's sitting on a table. And when I'm looking at my mug, I'm asking myself, is it darker or is it lighter than the shape or the space that's right next to it? And for me, it's kind of, and then I may, if I want to, the background right here is a little darker than the mug, so I can just add a little something around the back. But that's really it. The goal for this assignment is practicing that idea of shading something that is round and using ellipses instead of flat tops and bottoms. So I'm going to stop my sharing, and I do want to take time right now